So I find myself this morning honoring our new club, not by wearing their kit because I don't own it, but wearing a kit of a club in their country. It's the only Portuguese kit that I own. No, we are not taking over at Sporting Braga. We have another new job because eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the 43-year-old Nick Bottom as the new manager of FC Porto. The latest phase of our journey begins now. And welcome back, one and all, to episode number 118 of Bottom to the Top. I'm Mr. Cellophane. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic week. We're already midway through. It's late April already. Can you believe it? We are about 6 months away from FM 25-ish. But that's not something we're worrying about right now. We've got 5 matches remaining in the Liga Portugal season as we take over a team in FC Porto at the lowest point they have been since the 2030 season, currently sitting in 5th place after 29 matches, 55 points and the plus 19 goal difference. Now, there is only 2 points separating us from not being in a European place. There are 2 points separating us from being in 3rd place. Actually, it's only technically 1. I'm not sure what all the tiebreakers are. This is my first time managing in Portugal in all of my time playing Football Manager, which, as we all know, isn't a ton of time, but I have gotten around, this being my second Journeyman save and all. Sporting Braga, the team I'm actually wearing on my chest, is currently in 1st place. They've already qualified for Europe, sitting in 29 matches, 70 points. Benfica in 2nd place on 63 points. As I mentioned, 5 matches left to go. We actually have Sporting coming up as our first match, and then the remaining fixtures that we have on our schedule are all against teams in the middle or bottom of the table in Famalicão, Casapia, Estrela Amadora, Firenze. After that, those are our final 4. Casapia currently sitting at the bottom of the table. They are right in the middle of that 5-match run in. Sporting is coming up in a little over a week, so we're actually going to test out some tactics. We're going to play a friendly, maybe even 2. Haven't decided yet. There are a full 2 weeks in between the last match against Gil Vicente, which Porto did win. In fact, on a 2-match winning streak in the league, going 2-2-2 in their final 6 matches, including the draw and the loss that knocked them out of the Champions League at the same time. We got knocked out with Arsenal against Atletico Madrid. We're not going to go through the whole squad, but we will point out a few highlights. One of our best defenders, one of the top players on the team, is an 18-year-old Argentine international. He's already capped 4 times for the big club. He's from Newell's Old Boys. He loves playing the libero role, which may factor into our decision-making. If you've been hanging out on the Twitch stream, you know how much we've come to love the libero after quite a bit of experimentation in our time in Croatia. But he is 6 foot 278 pounds. He can get in the air. He's got some strength. His mentals are fantastic, and his tackling ability is probably amongst the best of any defender that I have personally come across on any of the teams that I have managed here in Football Manager. On loan from Newcastle, it's kind of a shame he's on loan because he is our best attacking player. It is Trayvon Sanusi. He's made 23 appearances in the league, 7 goals, 5 assists. He added a couple of goals and an assist as well in 2 matches in the Portuguese Cup, which we got knocked out in the 6th round. So right now, this is the only competition that we are still vying for. Beautiful dribbling ability. His physical's absolutely fantastic. 5'11". He's also not that short for a winger. As you know, we've had some pretty diminutive guys out on the outside. In fact, most of our best players are wide players, so we're probably going to incorporate either a 4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1, or maybe even a 4-2-4, because we do seem to be, just from what I've looked at, a pretty offensive-minded team. Yeah, good at the back, but most of our best players are definitely on the attack, including Antonio Nusa, 29-year-old dual national from Norway and Nigeria. Interesting combination. He is a pretty good technical player. His physicals are actually fantastic. Another 5'11" winger. He is 29 years old, so this is probably going to be his last season here. We may look to move on and cash in. I mean, paid $63 million. He's worth right now 46 to 50, so probably taking an overall loss, but sometimes you just have to. He's actually wanted by a couple of clubs at the moment. Also, Savio, 31-year-old dual national Spanish Brazilian. Yet he plays in Portugal, 5'8", fantastic off the ball. He's versatile, he's spirited, and he's also a leading player here in the league as well. My concern is going to be at goalkeeper. Probably the best of the bunch we have right now is a 5'10" South African. He has capped 57 times for his country, so he is pretty decent. 27 appearances in the league. He's given up 26 goals, kept 12 clean sheets, another 4 clean sheets and 10 appearances in the Champions League. So maybe the attributes you see before you aren't fully representative of what he can do, what he makes up, or what he gives up in reach, he makes up in drive, reflexes, handling one-on-ones. I'd kind of like that to be a little bit better. This could be a position that we look to upgrade as we move into our first full season once we get out of this one. The beautiful thing about the position we find ourselves in is we are towards the top of the table. We're not worried about getting relegated. We're not worried about losing our job after these 5 matches. So we will have an entire summer to completely tool the team in our own image. Hopefully more in the vein of what we did at Fulham versus what we ended up doing at Arsenal. We do get tremendous passing ability out of a 20-year-old Portuguese midfielder, Andre Martins. Now, he's currently out on loan at Millwall in England. We will probably look to bring him back for next season. He's great off the ball. His vision, passing are fantastic. So maybe we will rely on him a little bit more in the coming years. He's gotten a little bit of development time in England. Hopefully we will bring him back home and see what he can do for FC Porto. I say that now, but we'll see what happens with the midfielders we currently have on the roster. Because the ironic thing is we kind of have a similar player currently in on loan from Ajax, and 25-year-old Spaniard Manuel Santamaria. He looks to be a pretty good player. Again, he's a playmaker. We seem to have a lot of midfield playmakers, which could be very interesting. I may, for the first time, actually use multiple playmakers in my midfield. One for the left, one for the right, maybe even one for the middle and behind. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, he came over from FC Vancouver in MLS originally. Again, his passing is absolutely fantastic, but what I get in Santamaria, bringing him in from Ajax, I may have in a younger model for next year, a player that I already have under contract. Interesting choices that this team seems to have made. We were able to get a couple of friendly matches on our schedule to try to figure things out tactically. All season long, this team has used a 4-2-3-1, obviously to some success and some lack of success. Being in 5th place and well off of the top of the table. They were expected by the media to finish 2nd, so we're going to figure out what's going to work best for this team as we have our 5-game run-in to the end of the season. Still a chance to gain Champions League football, and that is our personal goal, even if the board is just okay with us getting through to the end of the year. 2 friendlies down, both 4-0 victories, one against lesser competition. Well, I guess technically both are against lesser competition. The second, we got a good in-depth look at the team. We took on Alverca, who's currently 17th in the league, but we were making a ton of money off of it, so why not? We reeled off a lot of shots. We learned a lot about the squad. First off, 3 of our 4 goals came with the substitutes we put on. Maybe it's simply because fresh legs, while Alverca was a little bit more tired. It could be just as we're getting to learn the tactical familiarity with the 4-2-4 that we are going to roll out once we get playing in the league. 35 shots on goal, 14 on target, a little bit of concern there. I also, even though we had 52% possession, that actually came down as the match went on, I think, as Alverca was starting to make some tactical adjustments, and we completed 84% of our passes, which is a very solid number. One thing I did notice is the team was rather untidy with the ball, in fact, remarkably so. However, they did a fantastic job of regaining possession, and our defense was just absolutely incredible in not only getting the ball back, but preventing Alverca from getting any opportunities. They only had 3 shots through like the first 50 minutes of the match. So I think this is the way we are going to go, at least for the final 5 games of the season. We are also going to be muddling through with a bit of a limited staff. We're missing scouts, we're missing recruitment analysts, we are missing coaches. Oh boy, are we missing coaches. We still have a fairly average staff for the league, so we can only add to that. We don't even have an assistant manager in place, but don't worry, the hiring of all those positions has already begun. Let's just hope that we can make this all work as well as it did in the friendlies in actual league play, the first of our final 5 matches of the year. It's an O Classico derby against Sporting. We're going to have Ngidi in goal. We've already talked a little bit about the South African international. At left back, it's going to be Sandro. Our midfield, or our 2 central backs, are going to be Sean Smith out of England, the 25-year-old. We're going to have Martinez in there, Sebastian Martinez. We talked a bit about him, our 18-year-old Argentinian. Gustavo is going to get the start at right back. He is pretty good physically, although a little bit more diminutive. Think Seamus Coleman. That's going to be my point of reference. In the midfield, playing that more defensive role is going to be the Dutchman, Mike Klein. We have not yet signed our new assistant manager. He is, we've come to an agreement. He just hasn't actually come to the club yet. He is also from the Netherlands. Hopefully we get to unveil him at the end of this episode. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Next to him in a more attacking role is Noah Makimbo Ntemo out of Belgium, the 28-year-old. He's just kind of average overall. He has made 25 appearances so far for the club, 5 goals, 4 assists, as he is in here on loan from Celta Vigo. Sanusi, we've already talked about, will be on the left wing. Savio is going to be on the right-hand side. And a strike pairing of Alvaro Rodriguez, the 6'4" Uruguayan, is going to be our target man and handling poacher roles. Cesar Ramos, the 26-year-old Mexican, was the only unhappy player at the club. We have downgraded him from a squad player to an impact sub, but he was unhappy about his playing time. So hopefully if we give him a start, he'll stop bitching. And we are going to start off with a kickoff highlight simply because we were watching the full match last time. And, well, Football Manager doesn't let you change after the fact. Sporting is going to control off of the initial kickoff. Rizky up the right side, flipping it into the middle. Horvat can't get his head on it. Gustavo is going to clear that one away. Figueiredo will play it back for Aubert, who will carry it once again toward the box. Circle back. He's got a man on him. Aubert taking a shot, and Guidi will dive, but Aubert will miss everything high and wide. So, of course, we did not expect, with Sporting starting with the ball as the home team, to see anything really out of that initial highlight. A win today will put us ahead of Sporting and into 3rd place in the Liga Portugal table. Taking control of it, though, at the edge of the final third. Savio's got it. He'll drop it back for Klein. Spin it forward for Sanusi. Gets away from two men. Carrying it deep. Throwing it into the middle. Aubert trying to head it away. Rodriguez is going to pick up the loose ball and pick up his 18th goal of the season. Rodriguez, Johnny on the spot. Martinez unable to clear it away for Sporting. And FC Porto taking an early 1-0 lead here about 14 minutes into this match. Rodriguez getting over Takahashi, putting it past Kudyakov for the 1-0 lead, but Sporting with a highlight right off of the kickoff. Vargas in control near the center stripe will drop it back for Martinez. Can we see some of that ball winning that we saw in the friendly? We can, as Sanusi tracking back nicely. Played forward. Ramos has a ton of green jerseys around him. Dropping it once again for Savio. Will play it to the safety of Smith. Across for Gustavo along that right side. He'll just kind of hang on and wait for things to develop in front of him. Playing it for Mike Klein. For Rodriguez. Tipping it to Ramos, who will drive it from just outside of the box for his 8th goal of the year. And FC Porto taking a 2-0 lead just a minute and a half after Rodriguez opened the scoring. 2-0 for Porto. Great pass by Mike Klein. Touch pass over Rodriguez. One-time left foot shot from Ramos. Past Kudyakov for the 2-0 advantage. And so far, so good at FC Porto as we take a look at the live table, sitting on 58 points, assuming the victory today after 30 matches. Only 34 matches overall in the league season. Braga and Benfica do still have a game in hand on us ahead of them. Can we climb as high as second? I'm not sure if we can overtake Benfica, but if we can get past Sporting and hold on to that position, then we will have done the job that we were hired to do. Coming into this match in 5th place, ending it in 3rd would be a fantastic show for us to get things started. And another steal away by Savio. He'll clear it, but only as far as Vargas. Vargas up the left wing outside the box for Horvat in the middle. Carnavasso off of the woodwork and cleared. Figueiredo will drop it for Martinez at the midfield stripe, and that is where our highlight is going to end. 6 shots apiece through the first 40 minutes of this match. 3 on target for either side. Played long. Rodriguez will try to pick out his man, but Takahashi will head it forward. Horvat with it along the left wing. Tracking back and getting in front of him is Gustavo. Gustavo playing it forward, looking for Rodriguez. Villadsen will drop it for Carnavacio. If I mess up any of these names, I apologize. I'm seeing them all for the first time. Rizki's cross is cleared away by Smith. Villadsen once again with the ball for Sporting. We're in the 43rd minute. Rizki into the middle for Vargas. Vargas centering it for Taklamati, and Idan Taklamati with his 10th of the year completes a fine move by Sporting to bring them back within 1, and that is the first goal given up in the Nick Bottom regime. Taklamati's shot looks like it did deflect off of the foot of Martinez and went back behind the goalkeeper. Savio on the free kick. Kudyakov gets his hands on that and will direct that into the stands. It'll be a corner opportunity. Savio to deliver the outswinger. He's also on a yellow card already. Takahashi is there to head it away, and unable to control it is Makembo and Tembo. It'll go out for a throw-in for Sporting, but that's going to be the end of the first half as we try to get ourselves back into the commentary groove. It's been a little bit since we have played a match in this Journeyman save. 53% of the possession went to Sporting. We're not really playing a possession type game. Goals by Alvaro Rodriguez and Cesar Ramos gave Porto the 2-0 lead before Idan Taklamati, a name that looks familiar. I feel like we had him last year. I want to say at Maccabi Tel Aviv. Not 100% sure. All right, it's a close-fought match between rivals, and we are going to enter this second 45 with a final third throw-in for Sporting. Aubert for Horvat, sending it far post. Rizki getting his head on it, but unable to pick out the target, and no save needing to be made by Ngidi. 9 shots apiece early here in the second half. Gustavo to throw it in from the near side. He finds Savio, gets some space. Savio in, shoots, deflected to Sanusi, and Trayvon Sanusi, with his 11th goal of the year, will restore the 2-goal Porto lead. It is now 3-1 in this O Clasico derby. Savio taking it into the middle, he shoots it on, deflects off of the butt of Martinez, right in the path of Sanusi, who heads it home. We are going to miss Sanusi. He is a very good player for us, the 27-year-old on loan from Newcastle. Corner kick opportunity taken advantage of by Adam Obear. What a brilliant header. Makembo Ntembo missed his chance to knock that one away, and Obear is able to fire it past Ngidi to bring Sporting back within 1. We have played 65 minutes of this match, and that's the second mistake we've seen by Makembo Ntembo. So we're going to bring in Deniz Telehavshi, who is also in on loan. He's here from... Where is he from? I'm not sure, but he's going to Benfica at the end of the year. We're also going to bring in David Pereira to replace the goal scorer Alvaro Rodriguez. So 2 changes to be made. With just a little over 20 minutes remaining in this match, and it's a Sporting corner. Canavesio, who delivered the last one, lines up over it. Martinez heads it on and cleared away, but Figueiredo able to get there. Save made. Sandro just throws it out into touch to clear the danger. 15 minutes remaining in this match. Sanusi also feeling a little bit tired with 10 minutes left to go. So Antonio Nusa is going to come in his place. He played in the friendlies more on the right-hand side. Sandro to throw it in the 83rd minute. Sandro sending it across, looking for Ramos, but Kudyakov comes off his line near the 6-yard box to grab that one out of the air. He's going to send it long, looking for Taklamati. Telavoshi playing it ahead for Pereira. Pereira shooting from range, and he cannot make it go in from 19 yards out. It's going to be a free kick for Sporting. 5 minutes left to go in the original 90. Can Porto hold on to this 3-2 lead? 4 minutes added on, and Guidi will just send it long, looking for Pereira. Played down to Klein. Klein regaining possession. Ahead for Nusi, who can't control his header. Veladson back to get it for Porto. Looking to start it up in the middle for Obear. Challenged by Ramos. Ramos steals, shoots, and scores. Cesar Ramos with a brace in our debut match. His 9th of the year. It's 4-2 Porto, and that should put this O Clasico derby out of reach. And we are going to head into the final 4 matches of the season off of the mistake by Obear and the opportunism of Ramos, in 3rd place in Liga Portugal, in position to make the Champions League for next year. Savio with a last-second corner, headed on Sean Smith, his first goal of the year. Even with Pereira off with a knock, a 10-man Porto makes it 5-2 off of the set piece. What a delivery by Savio. Smith heading it down into the ground, out of the reach of Kudyakov. 5-2 is going to be your final. We managed 22 shots to Sporting's 14. We ended up wresting the possession battle out of their hands as well. 10 shots on target, 2.27 XG, led to 5 goals. And what a win to start Nick Bottom's Portuguese career. And I didn't want to go away without introducing you to our new assistant manager. He hasn't been doing anything. He's just been kind of hanging out since he retired from his playing days at the end of the 2027-2028 season. But Virgil van Dijk has come out of retirement to be our assistant. My favorite part is that I personally love to leave my media handling to my assistant manager. And Van Dijk is outspoken, he plays mind games, and he's unflappable. This should be a good time. Hopefully we can end the season where we are right now in a Champions League place. We will be back tomorrow with the final 2 matches of the regular year. We're taking on Estrella Amadora and Firenze. and I hope to see you then. Thank you very much for joining me. This is stop number 5 on our Journeyman save, and where will it take us next? Who knows? Hopefully, next year, to the Champions League. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you have not already, and make sure you come back. Same bad time, same bad channel tomorrow. I will see you then. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.